I've been making movies in 1998, and I usually don't have a lot of money. Usually, and because we are all independent filmmakers, and we only can do our best to collect what we can to make things work. So one thing I have learned from doing that is a couple things that you have to have as a requirement, because the way the technology moving forward with, you don't want to be able to spend less money buy stuff and then be obsolete the next day. It's like computers. You don't want to buy, you usually never ever buy the best computer come out in the market right now, just because the price will always drop. So you always buy the middle range computer, and when that become obsolete, then you buy the second best middle range. That applies because the issue is every new computer comes on the market, maybe too new, maybe a lot of bugs, might be the software is not compatible yet, and so on and so on. There's a lot of reason for that. So, first thing first, if you buy, you have a DSLR, you have a camcorder. DSLR, which one? Okay. And
I shoot 80% with the DSLR and 20% with the video camera.
it's kind of funny too. We were just talking about yesterday where
if I'm in an interview situation,
Yeah.
small space, got to set up, and it's just like
DSLR.
that. Yeah, well, no, I mean I'll use the other one if it's
Camcorder.
like camcorder, if it's just going to be something straight. But if there's any
Right. And the funny thing about DSLR is you are spending a lot less money to buy something small so you can walk around with it. But then when you want to make it as a video camera, you start building around it and make it more expensive. So eventually you ended up with a camcorder. But look cooler in the DSLR format because everybody is high for that. Couple things you need to know about using a DSLR camera, accessorizing it. You don't want to spend less money because you don't have the money, but you don't want to cheapen yourself to buy stuff that can break every other day. Certain things is okay to buy cheap, just because, for example, if you go out and shoot on the field, like a mountain, rocks, on the park, and you buy a lens, you always want to prefer to get a filter in case of you drop the lens, you break something. They have said the Panasonic, Sigma, and I think the Sony lens are very, Canon, the Nikon Canon are very, very strong. So you can actually drop it, it still doesn't scratch the lens itself, which I would not try because you spend $1,000 for the lens, you don't want to drop it really. So you buy a lens filter, maybe $20, $30 to protect it. The best one I think is called BW. It's about $50 filter lens. And the good thing about that is, if you drop it, you scratch the filter, you don't scratch the lens, you still save a $1,000 lens. So that's one thing. The other thing people like to do is buy a little filter thing to cover out your viewfinder here, your monitor screen. So fingertips, everything is going to reflect it. The Canon have a tendency, once you touch a lot more, you can see the fingertips on the bright sunlight. It makes it difficult to view. And so those things
what is it you use on that?
This is a GH4, so I have nothing here.
No, I meant on the. Do you put something on there?
Not at all in mine.
Okay.
I really don't worry much because this is also a touch screen.
Right.
So
It has all that touch screen
yeah,
stuff
all
on
that
it.
touch is really good in the sense of they do burn if you keep it on 24 hours. They do burn the screen, but they actually have very, very strong protections, just like an iPhone. You don't want to break it. Couple things you also do is tripod-wise. Never cheapen another tripod. I have here a folded tripod. Believe it or not, this is a $189 tripod that can can hold. It's a photography tripod. It's not for video, but it can hold up to 17 pounds. So which means that you can change the head. This is the head that comes with it, and put something like this, a slider, or put a regular video head, and then you still can make it work. Obviously, you don't want to put a very, very heavy video head. Then it looks like a big head with a tiny body. But I bought this because for two reasons. Compact, when you fold this together, it becomes a little tiny one like this long for your backpack carry on. And then if you really, really want to, you can screw this leg only, make it use as a monopod. So it becomes monopod and a travel easy tripod. You can get an Amazon right now for used one about $160. So something you don't want to go cheap with. If you want a professional DSLR camcorder tripod, Manfrotto is a good name. Miller is extremely expensive, $2,000 tripod. You can go with the right way RR. I think the right stuff, the really right stuff RRS, which is a couple $1,000s too. Or you can go also for enduro, made by the company called Benro. If you guys know Benro, you know. This actually from Benro also, but this is the lighter version of it. They do have a stronger one for 26 pounds. So obviously you need that. You need something to be able to hold your camera. If you use video lab, change this camera head to become a video head. This is very, very difficult to move around without it. So, audio-wise, some of the camera, most of the Canon camera do not have a headphone to hear. I don't think that one has one either, right? That's a T4? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's D. And the only one that, no, 5D has audio. Yeah, 5D has audio, you're right. Headphone. So it's hard to monitor audio, and most of the Canon, Nikon, or a majority of the Canon DSLR, when you put the mic in, you have the problem with the AGC, which is automatic gain control. It makes your audio really, really difficult to hear. They'll be basically like a very unusable audio. That's why you use a shotgun mic there. You can always put the shotgun mic, putting the mic on the camera, or you can buy a portable device like an H4n or a S2n, or in my case, I like to use a Tascam. The Tascam is a little box, very ugly, that you can either put it underneath it, or you can put it like the way I did. It has 2 XLR input or XLR quarter-inch input on the side. You can record up to 4 different input. What we liked about this is we have done a test with a H6 zoom and a Tascam. This have lower noise level compared to the other. They are good equipment. They are good, all good. You just have to decide which one you prefer. I prefer to use this one. That doesn't mean it's better than the other one. This is my preference. Use SD.
I think we were just talking in the last workshop, and I think that for XLR and those things, these are better than using an H4n with the XLR in. But the H4n is like really good.
Right.
You're just using the mic.
Right.
If you're just using it by itself, it's a separate audio.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. And the only disadvantage of this one is once you start recording, you do not want to change this. No. Apparently, there's a chance of you will hear a little very, very faint click noise, which is not a big deal if you have a dead silent between the audio, or the person is screaming. You can just quickly adjust it. Another good thing about this is it has double recording, dual recording. So you record one is a regular level, and the other one will be minus 6 decimal less. So if somebody shout and the original audio is bad, you have a backup audio you can use. So that's a very good for us. Like we just did an audio interview, and people were laughing, and it was peaking. So we know that the second track will be better used for that, for protecting that. So audio is very important. The other thing you never want to miss about is the shotgun mic. If you can't afford a shotgun mic, you can buy a shotgun mic is really, really good for everything you do. But there is also a very cheap Tascam, which I have an XM-2, which is a stereo mic that you can put on top of the camera. $82, and it does a really incredible job of picking up clean audio.
Okay, I would like to know the number of that. It's not for me, but I do a workshop.
Let me bring that in. I actually have it here.
Have you ever wanted to be an actor? At Cleveland Academy of Film Acting, anyone can get on the path to a new exciting film career. If you're new to acting, an experienced pro, or somewhere in between, Cleveland Academy is for you. We help place our students in local film projects. Classes are on Wednesday night from 8 to 10 p.m., and your first class is absolutely free. Call 216-323-2393. That's Cleveland Academy of Film Acting.
Admit it. You're the one who killed him. You seduced him, gained his confidence. And then when he wasn't looking, you reached into your purse, and without conscience or remorse, you pulled out a gun and shot him. And cut. Curious? Visit theindygathering.com, a film festival, and so much more.
brought a few more gears that I have that I think is cheap enough that people will be interested. So everything I buy here is from Amazon. A couple reasons why. First of all, Amazon have a called smile.amazon.com, which you actually, every time you spend money there, I think 1%, 2%, oh no, 0.2%, which is little nothing, go to the charity of your choice. So I donate all my money to a charity I like, so because I spend lots of money there. Second, Amazon have a good policy. If you're a Prime member, you broke something and you do it, or you broke it or you didn't like it, even after 30 days you can return it, no question asked. And if you didn't have Prime, you bought it from another vendor and they don't respond to you, they will return you the fund and tell you to keep the equipment. For example, I bought a expensive light stand trussel. $399. A part of it broke, and I sent an email and said, hey, this broke, I need to get it fixed. And the vendor doesn't exist anymore. They said, well, we can't find you the vendor, we can't find the manufacturer, I will refund you the money, you just keep the equipment. So I gained $390, which happened to going back to something else here on spending. So, backpack, there is, backpack can cost, yes.
Can I shut the door?
Sure, you can shut it up. It's probably not going to make a difference.
Yeah, what was the name of the mic you said you got?
Oh, yes. I know I found it. There you go.
Okay.
That's from Tascam. I think it's the XT or TX02. It's extremely portable, no power and battery needed. All you had to do is put it up there and plug it in. Definitely sound better than what is on the camera. I did a test one day outside on the park, and the person was sitting about your distance, and he was talking very quiet, like my voice right now. Like we can pick him up extremely well. Even the background noises, with that. Pass it out, just for free.
Okay.
And it's surprising if people can hear him. And I can hear very well the audio. So it's only $81 from Tascam. It's a really good product to have. If you can afford a Rode with, that's about $150. And I have a very expensive Sennheiser. College kids, if you're starting up, you can afford that. That'll be something you can consider. Do not consider that as a shotgun, because if you can do shoot, I don't think that would be recommended, because you're still going to pick up audio noises just because it's a stereo microphone. The other thing you want to consider is LED lights. These are cheap Chinese-made LED product. This one happens to have 126 LED. So you use camera batteries. You can get one that actually use the same battery. You can use one that have the same battery that can be used apply here. Try to shop around for it.
How much does this cost?
This thing costs
Yeah.
$34.
And it works on, I think it was regular batteries too, if you didn't
Yeah,
have camera
yeah.
batteries.
You can see I didn't have regular battery. I'm trying to plug in there. Sometimes my battery is old battery, so sometimes it does not want to get in there. There you go. See, all bright. Only lasts 30 minutes. I was on the street, completely darkness. Using this, I at least can see the performer in the middle. So the street performer will be very useful. $34, you can get this one. So if you need to travel a lot and you need a SD card case, you can get something like this. Very simple, or a Pelican one. This is only $10. You can hold 8 SD cards. Hard case enough that can be carried. And of course, you want to have a backpack. Amazon make really good quality, cheap backpack, camera backpacks from $29 all the way to $60. I have changed to this one because I wanted something hard enough that can protect the camera. This is $169 Manfrotto. If you can afford that, you can buy what they call professional DSLR backpack. It's only $60, and it can jam and lots of stuff. I mean, I had one for 3 years, and it was.
What kind is it?
It's similar to this. You can actually put a laptop in the back, head compartment exactly like this, but can fit a lot more than this thing. So if you use a smaller camera like GH4, GH2, you can fit. I mean, I had two GH4 here and all the lens here. I mean, it's packed up. So you can same thing do with the other one. It's a called DSLR professional backpack. It's about $60 and Amazon. I buy them all the time. So those are the things you want to consider getting. And again, accessorizing is not going to be so expensive. For example, you love doing dolly shots and you don't have a dolly, you can't afford to pay for a dolly. You can make something like this. This is a 3 wheels for tripod, and if you have a smooth surface, this can become a dolly because you can just move like a gym or school, high school. You can actually pan very simply, and that thing can hold about 34 pounds of weight, and this thing only costs $29. So it does the job. And now you're going to talk about shoulder rig. You can get a shoulder rig that the guy, the filmmaker, director that made the current movie Godzilla, Edward. He is the director of Monsters, also the current director of the Godzilla movie. He used a shoulder mount. It's only $34. Got it in Amazon, and he shot the movie with the whole movie Monsters with it. And that thing it's a shoulder mount, like a shoulder rig, and you can just move around shooting. Instead of using Steadicam, so it works. You don't have to spend lots of expensive money, but the most key important thing is find things that you can expand. All right. For example, I have this slider. This is a cheapest or the high-end quality slider. I recently I went with this because it's supposed to be hold up to 76 pounds. You can put a very, very heavy camera on it. Second of all, of course, you can put it on a tripod. The other thing you can do is you can buy a longer rod, and then it can become a longer tripod. Now, it's compact enough that I can travel with, and since I already have, unfortunately, I bought this piece. You can buy a slider for $60 on Amazon, but you can hear the noise. Very unfortunately, you can hear the noise that when you go through it. Now this one, take this off. Just in case I drop my camera. Yes, I don't want to do that. Then I'll be crying. My face will turn pale like a ghost.
We had when the GH2 came out.
Yeah.
We did the first shoot with the GH2, and somebody put the lace in wrong.
Oh.
And luckily, it hit their foot before it hit the cement. And all it ended up was this little chip in the back. But literally, it was like 2 days old.
Jeez. So here, see how smooth this is? So that's one of the reasons I bought it for that too, because it's extremely smooth that you can actually push around. And then I bought this kit. It's about $350. This slider is $399. It's actually made by Doozy. They made the design so you can put a strap and can walk around the mountains and shoot stuff off in the park and so on and so on. Extremely versatile. I bought this because you can use up to 76 pounds on it. So I can actually put it HVX 200 and huge monitor and still works really, really well. Then I realized, okay, I want to be able to do motorized sliding without me, because I am very, very bad having a camera adapter and try to slide and shoot and tilt and pan. I am very, very bad at it. So my thought was, okay, what is available in the market right now that you can buy that can make it motorize it, and then without spending another $1,000, because motorized slider is about $1,000, so $600-800 and up. So there's this kit, which is this part, this rubber part, the motor, and it runs via batteries. Put this back.
Introducing SoundForge Pro Mac, a 2-track audio editor reinvented by Mac users for Mac users, redesigned specifically for OS X. SoundForge Pro Mac features an elegantly refined interface. See everything at once, or toggle the view to see only the features you need. Record and edit high-resolution multi-channel audio with speed and precision. Process audio with a wide range of unique and powerful tools. Sony Creative Software now brings its industry-leading expertise and innovative product development philosophy to the Mac. SoundForge Pro Mac enhances your production workflow. It's the ideal complement to any digital audio workstation or non-linear editing environment. Redefining audio editing. SoundForge Pro Mac.
Cleveland Academy for Self-Defense is Northeast Ohio's premier martial arts school. Located on Cleveland's near west side, we teach several martial arts disciplines, specializing in Taekwondo and Hapkido. As taught by Master Ray Such, students of Cleveland Academy learn discipline, formal martial arts training, and real-world self-defense techniques. Classes are available for children and adults. Cleveland Academy for Self-Defense, the home of champions.
Now this is the expensive part of it, but it's a good thing to have if you can afford it. So $350 for this motor part. The slider is $390. You're thinking about looking at about $750 to $800 total you have to spend. But what good it is now I can have an electronic motorized device. This uses batteries. You can hook it up somewhere there on the camera, on holding your hand, and then you can press and you speed it up. Oh, I should have got that far. And then
And how much, you said it's about, who makes that?
the company makes this kit is called Resolve, RESOLVE. It's called RAM, Remote Automatic Motor or something, RAM. I don't $350. It's something they have sales so you can pick it up. And this is a Ducey, or you can basically this whole kit you can use in any slider available in the market. So you have how to blow the ribbon, so you can go all the way far.
Because I bought that Korean one, whatever it is. K.
Yeah, I know with the K10, K something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
There's a good review on that one too.
Yeah, it was, and it's like you just don't want to take them out where there's any dirt, because they're
That's right. I remember reading that.
okay.
Yes.
Because they have bearings in them, and if you're out and it's windy and dirty, then it just starts to crunch away.
Yeah, that's
and
what
you
I
have to
heard.
replace things, so we use them a lot inside.
Okay.
But not a lot in a windy day outside.
So yeah, now I can just concentrate about doing the panning without worrying about sliding because I really am not very good at it. So this is something you had to spend money on just because they last forever. Once you have it, it lasts forever. And I know this company are very well. If something doesn't work well, talk to them. They'll be happy to replace it right away. For example, I just noticed this today. It came out. You can see the red color. So the design is still not that good. We try to let them know and they will fix it for the future. Any questions so far? Did I cover everything? Kind of did.
I wish you had a list.
I have a bunch of videos about what we have presented about how you can accessorizing. For example, tripod-wise, there's a company called Davis and I can't remember the name of it right now. It's on a video. It's similar to that tripod. It's a professional video tripod for video camcorders, and it's about $150. And what is good about it is how this you use one finger, you can actually pan, and
Is this a Ravelli the same as this thing?
I'm not sure. This was bought on eBay, I think. So the way to understand how a camcorder, a tripod is good is you will be able to push around with one finger. Just up and down. Where's the other one?
It's a knob down here, right? The silver knob, I think. Is that the pan knob there?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with one finger you'll be able to do extremely smooth. Mm-hmm. And this is not. So this is a okay tripod. Sometimes you can use a rubber band. You just put a rubber band and it will work. that you know that would be a really, really good tripod to carry well. That's how you manage.
What's
Yeah.
the one that you said?
It's $159. Davis. Start with the Davis something. So Amazon, if you type in Davis tripod, you definitely find it right away.
Okay.
So it's a very important thing. Now, if you want a portable tripod, this definitely is a good choice. It's one of the cheapest and one of the more the steady one that I have seen in my life. We have Miller over there. We have Davis. We have well, Enduro, Mero, and Mayfoto are the same company. They are Chinese made.
I have a Mayfoto, but I have the backpack. I think there's a backpack.
There's a road trip backpack and there's a globe trotter.
I have the backpack.
Okay. I think there's a road trip.
Because I do a lot of time lapse stuff when I go on vacation. You know, I show up at the hotel and tell them it's not a high enough place for me to be, so I can get up and shoot stuff, and it's really nice. I mean, they're really compact.
It's very compact, and they're really good to carry around. And then,
although they do get heavy after a while.
Surprisingly, like this one, this is the road trip. You can actually hold 17 pounds on it. So I didn't expect to be this little tiny thing can hold that much. I did test it one day because I always wanted to see how far I can go before breaking it. I mean, hey, I got 7 years warranty. Why not try it out, right?
Yeah.
So it's all good. I do know this is actually pretty good. I love it. When we did shooting at the high school and people running all over the place, I just sick of tired of carrying out. I just push. Hey! And then, you can just push out there and let it record and just stand there watching it.
I was amazed how good those were for $30 because we have one of those too. And they go in a little bag, you throw them over your shoulder.
It's
and
really, really, really simple. Yeah. So let's see what else I have here. And then backpack. If you buy backpack, you don't want to buy something that's too tiny. You want to buy something that you can actually. If you're a person who runs around by yourself, you want to have a backpack that can put your audio gear, your tripod can be put in there, everything can be available, so you don't have to carry 2 or 3 bags. Right now, because I had 2 GH4 on this, I had to carry another sound bag for all my audio equipment stuff, which is, for me, my point of view, is pain in the butt. Now I had to carry the backpack and another pack, then another bag for my tripod and my everything else. So no. But if I travel by myself and only need 1 camera, this is all I need it for. I love it too because I can put a 17-inch laptop here, and I'm good to go. I probably usually don't even need that. Oh, there's also a compartment for iPad in this section, for tablet. To talk about GH4, since that's one of my favorite camera right now, you can actually do wireless recording. So I can be sitting here with my tablet. I can focus from here and see the focusing, tapping and make it focus and record it, and then we do all the recording for me.
Does it stop? Can you stop it from
Oh, yeah.
recording?
Yeah.
Because the GH3 you couldn't stop.
Yeah, you can do everything there, so it's beautiful.
Because the GH3 was a little frustrating because I could set it up and I could start the recording.
Later on after you shoot.
Then I had to go back and turn it off.
Yeah. But no, the GH4 can do everything. So, and the other good thing about GH4 now is you can do time lapse. So you can actually, the reason I'm talking about GH4, $1,700 camera. It's extremely cheap that you can shoot 4K. Think about it that way. Right now, I make a mistake in the past, and I'm trying to tell people don't do the same thing I did before. If you want to shoot a movie, you shoot whatever you do, you're probably never going to use 4K in your life. But why don't you get something bundled enough, that budgeted enough that you can always expand in the future. So if you buy something 4K now, you don't need it now, but who knows? 2 years from now, a client will say, hey, do you happen to have the shot that you did a year ago for me, but you shot in 4K? Can I have that one now in 4K version? Bang, it's there already. So you got nothing to lose to have it there available. And keep it in that perspective. Never ever I can see 4K very, very popular on TV. That's my perspective. Because human eye doesn't go more than 2Ks. A human eye does not see more than 2Ks. The only way you can see 4K is this close to the TV screen. You're going to say like, you don't want like this, then why don't you just watch it get a 3D?
And the only place you'll see it's in Best Buy.
Yeah.
Because every Best Buy has like a 4K monitor.
And they trick do it. They actually change the color of everything to make it a little bit different. So you actually think you look better. It look better. So they do that in the iPad. The older iPad, they darken the color. They make it less brighter. The new iPad, they have higher contrast, higher brightness. So you always think that the new one is better. But no, it's not. It's just the height. So TV-wise, it's not good for 4K. But why are you going to use 4K? You shoot 4K, downgrades to 1080, then you have a better resolution, better dynamic range, less moire. Moire basically is banding of color like this. If this shirt is like this way, you will see like a weird artifact, video artifact that annoys me once in a while, depending, if you have a window with all the blinds, then yeah, that will annoy me because I won't be able to pay attention to the person. So it's another good reason for that. But then to accessorizing a DSLR, then you had to think about how much money you want to spend. If you spend $3,000 on the camera, you might as well start thinking about spending another $3,000 for accessories. We're not spending all the money for every accessory you can get. Sound equipment, sound recorder, a tripod, a roller, a dolly, a good slider if you want, or what else? Batteries, additional batteries.
You two have disrupted my classroom for the last time.
What are you gonna do about it? Spank us?
She can't spank us. It's against the law.
Spanking would be too easy. I'm gonna cause more permanent damage.
And cut. Curious? Visit theindiegathering.com, a film festival, and so much more.
In today's world, there is an absolute need to know how to protect yourself. But who has the time or money for lengthy training sessions with techniques you may not remember in a time of need, or which can wind up putting you in even more danger? With Escape and Survive, you will learn effective, easy-to-remember techniques for getting out of dangerous situations. No complicated moves, no expensive, time-consuming training. Just common sense self-defense. Book your seminar today at escapeandsurvive.com.
I have never had a problem using third brand batteries, but there's a lot of people have a lot of issue with it, so it's all up to whether you want to go. I use Wasabi brand a lot because I've been using it since I have the T2i, and they've been working for me with no problem. Like for the GS4, we use the original battery from Panasonic, and then the Wasabi one, the difference is 20 minutes. The Wasabi is only lasts 20 minutes less, and I have no problem with that either. Thank you. Thank you, Vanna.
You have won a new camera.
I was gonna say, that's why I say Vanna. So yeah, and then sometimes you want to get additional stuff like shoulder rig, lens hood for avoiding sunlight coming to have a flare, and so on and so on. Things to help you make your life easier. Oh, XLR cables, so you can be able to record. You don't want to just buy a shotgun mic and say, oh, okay, you can just plug in there. It doesn't work that way. Think about that. Your investment is for the future, and whatever you invest, you want to invest the best. Except if you run around like crazy all the time, you don't want to spend a $5,000 microphone and break it the next day. Right? You want to buy something that you can work. Maybe that $82 will work for you on outside on the field, because all you need is ambient or people running around in soccer. Right? So if this breaks, oh, it's $82, I can buy another one. If it lasts for 2 years, you got your money worth. So you had to look at that way. Any questions so far? Yes.
So I don't know anything at all. So what's that little box there that you just pointed out?
This is a audio recorder device. Or if you have a really good shotgun mic, you don't need this. And your camera is good enough to be able to record the audio, you just go directly to the camera. This is a better device if you're doing filmmaking or you're doing really professional recording. So if you're doing an interview with the president, I would not suggest you to put the camera my headphone in here. You want to go here, here, and here. So you have a backup system in case this doesn't work, you still have an audio.
Okay. Everything's a backup system.
Yeah. So you have to think it that way. So another thing that people have a tendency to get confused about is the SD cards. and I'm going to explain a little more. SD card that the minimum SD card speed that you require to record video and audio at the same time is anything over what you call the class 10 SD card, which means you want to look at the cards. Well, let me give it back. Let me back up a little story. Currently, no DSLR, I'm not talking about Blackmagic, but I'm only talking about DSLR cameras, can record more than 35 megabits per second. I'm going to explain what I'll shortly. There is a confusion because when you read the technical spec on all the cameras, they use the way 200, like GH4 for example, they type 200 Mbps. That's megabit, right? So I should say megabytes, yeah. So, but the SD card use MB, which is megabytes. The difference is 200 megabits is equal to 25 megabytes. So marketing problem they have is people think when they say 200 megabits is actually equal to 200 megabytes. No, the camera, even the 5D3 or the RAW cameras, RAW actually can go a little higher. They lock down the speed because they don't want to overheat the camera or damage the system. They make it where the right recording speed of between audio and video for the highest quality is about 25 megabytes per second. So this way they don't damage the camera. The GH4 writes about 40 to 45 megabytes per second only. So if you have an SD card all you have to do is you shop around for SD card. If you want to be able to say, I want to get an SD card that can be future proof, get any SD card that can write up to 45 megabytes per second. Then you to go. You can use it for any camera in the world, SDR wise, and not Blackmagic. I think Blackmagic can go a little bit higher, but maybe next year they come out. I know they are coming out right now at a faster write speed, but then anything over 45, you're really good to go. I mean, that one only record to 20 megabytes per second. The confusion where everybody have was, you marketing takes the jargon they use, they don't try to make everything very, very confusing. But the bottom line is you just don't need anything over 25 MB. When you say 25 MB/S, that's all you need to go for.
And the 45 megabyte per second cards are cheap when you start looking around for them.
Correct. Like this one I have here.
Yeah.
This is a 128 transit, which is a 45 megabytes per second write speed. Only cost me $48. I can have tons of those and can record 4K with no problem. No drop frame, no freezing out, nothing. So.
But on these, when it says 8 gigabytes, that means
that's only
that's just storage capacity,
right.
Not the speed.
And there's a letter C here, the number 2. That means class 2 speed. Oh. Class 2 is a very slow speed. So for picture, it's okay. For video, it's no.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you want to go for class 10, which is a little c and the number 10, and U1 or UI, what do you call it, or the basic, not the new terminology used. And make sure you read the words that say 45 or 25 or 45 MB/S. And that will be something you want to go for. And they're very cheap. You don't have to spend money for that. Yes?
I'm not sure if you're heading in that direction or whatever, but do you have any suggestions for, say, like an alternate monitor, say?
I was going to go that way.
Yeah, if you have like a T2i or something. Or
Yeah. T2i, T3i, T4i, up to 70D. I mean, less than 5D Mark III. They only have one processing unit in the sense of for processing video information. So you can only, once you plug in a monitor, you lose the screen here, right? Same thing with Nikon. This one, you can, once you have monitor plug in, this one can work, you still have that. So it's 5D Mark III. Monitor-wise, they range from, the cheapest one I have seen is $125 all the way to $1,000. And the most important thing you want to look for is you look for monitor that, depending on what you use it for. But most of the monitors on the less $500, they are all the 800 by 400 pixel resolution. So it's it's the same thing. The only difference is brand and what they have in there. Some have focus peaking, some will have different color tone, blah, 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 blah. There's a company called Newer, or they made a clone version of Sony old 5-inch monitor. It costs about $125. It does the job. I mean, if you use it for framing, which I haven't done with my gimbal, it's a 5-inch, it's the other room. The 5-inch monitor, and that's only $125.
Yeah, I have one of those, and you just don't want to use it for color or anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you want to use color or anything else, just get a bigger HDMI video monitor, which is about 19-inch or 20-inch, because a 5-inch or 7-inch will not give you much detail. If you want to go to, if you had to buy a monitor and you really don't care about outputting, you just want to go my camera to monitor, the $125 will be cheap. It will be good enough. If you want to go monitor and then eventually monitor to another device, then you want to go look for one that have HDMI out. The cheapest one I've seen is $159. So for $30 you can monitor out.
Welcome to Movie Outline 3, your first step to a successful screenplay. Movie Outline is powerful screenplay development software for both the amateur and the professional screenwriter, which uses the simple technique of step outlining to build your story, characters, and screenplay scene by scene. With Movie Outline, you can easily plan and customize your story structure, color code acts, rearrange scenes, develop and track characters, format your screenplay, and compare your own story to successful Hollywood movies. Movie Outline is the ultimate writer's tool. Whether you're a novice or professional screenwriter, Movie Outline has a host of features to suit your needs, enabling you to plan your story and present your polished screenplay to a professional standard. Don't miss out on the most powerful screenwriting tool available. Visit www.movieoutline.com to download the free demo today.
Why I'm saying that? Because there's a lot of time I'm shooting with client. I have this monitor, it's not enough, so I want to have another monitor on top of this. But then my client will be sitting behind me, look at it, and drive me crazy because I want to kick their ass. They're getting into my way. So I will do is I will either run a long HDMI cable to another bigger screen so they can sit over there and watch it, or I can do a wireless transmission. That's something I'm going to talk about. There's if you want to transmit your image from this camera to a TV and you don't want to run wires, there is a device called a wireless transmitter device for HDMI, which only costs $149. Yeah, surprisingly very cheap, and does the job because I do have one there right now. The company is Nyrus, N-Y-R-I-U-S. What it does is you have a transmitter, a little tiny box like this big, and you plug into, you had to get an adapter, unfortunately. Plug into your HDMI out, then you had to power it up with a little power battery pack. What you do is you get a iPhone battery pack, which is only $30. You can just attach it next to it and then it will transmit. Then the receiver part, you can just plug it to the wall and then you plug it to the TV screen and they can see it. Very simple. You don't need that for GS4, just because we can record it in a tablet. We don't need an extra monitor for that. But for T2i, T3i, T4i, Nikon, whatsoever, you can always transmit that to another camera would be the easiest way to do it. And it really works really wonderful. Maximum range is about 30 feet. If you go over 30 feet, it will start losing signals. And I've been using a lot. We use for like presentation when you have a laptop and you want to plug it to the TV screen with HDMI, and you really don't want to have the laptop next to the projector. You just have it all over the place and you walk around. And the PowerPoint presentation is already showing here. And you can last the whole day. I mean, it doesn't break. So it get hard a little bit, but it's actually a really cool toy to have. Any questions so far? Anything I haven't covered?
No, thank you.
Trying to think about it, I haven't covered.
Yeah, I think the little 5-inch monitor I have, it has HDMI in and out on it.
That's just $125?
I don't know, it wasn't that, maybe it was $150, maybe I
Okay.
spent a little bit more on it than that.
Yeah.
And the only pain is I can't remember which one it is, and they're not marked, and I'm trying to
yeah.
figure out which one to plug into, and.
That's something I hate about manufacturers. They like to make
Why
things
can't you put a big
smaller.
out and in on the
Yeah.
back of something?
Or they make it so close to each other that if you have a very fat body size HDMI cable, you can't even plug in. This is something I hate about GH4. And I know, I probably kind of know the same thing. You know the monitor screen can flip out, right? You get all this stuff. But guess, imagine what? If I have an HDMI cable plug in, they have the headphone plug in here, I can't move this anymore. I am so limited and it frustrates me. I can only do this way.
If what's plugged in?
HDMI cable
Oh, I see.
and the headphone.
Yeah.
And then now this is completely locked.
Yeah.
Stupid design.
Well, that's because
They
it's
should put
such a
it here.
small, yeah, but they have such a small camera, they're trying to put everything in
Yeah,
every place.
or, yeah, they should put it somewhere else without.
Yeah.
They thought that they did a great job. Headphone, microphone is here at the top, so it doesn't interfere. But come on, give me some leeway to work with. But that's my only disappointment of this camera so far.
Well, my only disappointment was what I told you about the HDMI card I got stuck
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Because there is a little glitch in those with your HDMI if the little clip is
Yeah.
out. And I went online and everybody was like, oh, this is a little defect that they just should not have
Yeah.
designed it that way.
So yeah, let's see what else I was missing. If you, I think I covered everything. If you ever going to buy a shoulder rig, we basically a little equipment you hold like this, and then you put a pad here, the camera's here, walk around. I think we have one over there. Try to find the one that's much stable one. The problem with that is your hand will eventually get tired because the camera is right in front of you. We have one over there that a couple $1,000 expensive wise. It's actually put the camera here, and you put a monitor in front of you, and then you walk around with that. So I can imagine that I hold it up and I don't feel the weight. So I know for a fact if the camera is here, I can move around like crazy, and then we're gonna get tired. So that if you shop around on Amazon, you definitely can buy something about $200, and they actually hold the camera here, and then you can see the monitor in front of you here.
We do a sports thing every fall, and when I first started, then I did the DIY one, which
Yeah.
was I got a plate and I got all the plastic
Yeah.
stuff, and then I went to like the sports store and got 2 5-pound weights and put on the back, and you can set it on your shoulder and it'll just sit there like this. You can actually not touch it and just move around. It's heavy. I mean, it'll get to you after a while, but you can. Then we just mounted the camera and go around and shoot like that.
Right.
And it worked really well.
Yeah,
for like maybe $70 total.
It's very cheap. Now the other thing you can buy is a portable jib. So like when we had a yesterday demonstrate. Basically, it's a portable carbon fiber jib equipped set where you put it onto the tripod and you can expand it a bit higher, then you can move around and shoot about kind of cool shots. A portable jib is good because now it's small enough that you can carry all over the places. Prices are low, it's about $150 all the way up to $350,000, depending on what brand you're looking for. You don't need to get something fancy, but you want to get something steady, because once you get the camera up there and this thing is wobbly, you can break it. So, but I never think I need any of those because I never need jib shots. I mean, I got slider, I got the little dolly. Yeah, I can walk around there. But my backpack will be very heavy because all those things I had to carry around with by myself. So any question, guys? Yes?
So there's a really simple question, maybe you covered it earlier, but like online there, it's talking about if you have a DSLR, you need 3 lenses to accessorize your DSLR, and wide photo, and I don't.
Okay, yeah, wide angle lens, so you can capture this much. prime lens, you can capture this much.
What's the second one?
Prime, Prime.
Prime.
Prime lens are basically a fixed lens with only one number. You cannot zoom in and zoom out. A zoom lens, basically, you zoom in and zoom out. So you can go from this point to this here and this here again.
Oh, so
That's
white,
a
prime, and
reason to
zoom?
explain it. Huh?
White, prime, and zoom?
Yeah. But you don't really need all that. I'm going to explain why. This example, let's forget about aperture and camera frame format and so on, because that could be forever.
Yeah.
This camera lens is a 12 to 35. Okay, 12 is already this wide, so I'm already shooting a wide angle. Although, yeah, don't worry about it. It's actually 24, but really it's 24 to 70. But in the camera perspective, it's still this much. Yeah. So I already have a wide angle shot. If I really want to zoom in, I zoom into 35, or in this camera wise, it will be 70 millimeters. That's what this might basically become like this. If I really want to zoom in more, why don't I just move the camera forward to the camera person? That's about right. So you pick a lens that you like the most, and you stick with that, and then play with that until you get used to it. Then if you think, all right, now I need more lens, then I probably should buy more, and I buy more.